want to teach a little lesson to us today or tonight. Actually, it's about the middle of the night when I'm teaching this, about 11 o'clock at night. Just got through hearing a good lesson. Kind of had it in my heart to talk about being contrite and of a broken and contrite spirit. I was going down the road and I was thinking about the word contrite. And I looked it up on a little app on my phone, which is a pretty handy little deal, and found I was in there about 4 or 5 times. So I wanted to talk a little bit about those 4 or 5 scriptures. I think they're really interesting. I call this lesson, How to Get the Lord to Notice You. And I got the title for this lesson from Isaiah 66:1. It says, Thus saith the Lord, The heaven is my throne, and the earth is my footstool. Where is the house that you build unto me? And where is the place of my rest? For all those things hath mine hand made, and all those things have been, saith the Lord. But to this man will I look, even to him that is of a poor and a contrite spirit, and trembleth at my word. I have made heaven, earth is my footstool, everything is. What are you going to build for me? What are you going to give to me that I don't already have? And he's going to tell us in the verse 2 what we can give the Lord that he doesn't have that would please him. And it is a poor and a contrite spirit, and the man that trembleth at his word. He wants our heart. He wants a humble, a broken heart. I love verses like this because they help me to understand what impresses the Lord. I don't have to wonder if building bigger churches, building bigger hospitals, doing more great works that everybody can look at pleases the Lord. And some of those things are good. But he tells me what pleases him over that is a broken and a contrite heart. I have all that stuff at my disposal. What are you going to give the creator of all? We just can't give enough to God. He has it all. I don't need your little old houses with their vain little spires that reach to the top, your marble steps, your big auditoriums, your 15,000 seats. Poo-poo, I don't need that. I already have all that. I want what's in here. I want a poor, which is afflicted, humble, lowly. And a contrite means to be maimed, to be dejected, to be broken, to be crushed. So if I want to impress the Lord and have him scan the earth and look out and take a notice of me, to notice little old Jerry out there, to be poor and of a contrite spirit is what he wants to look at. What does it mean to be broken for the Lord? You know, being broken says that I am in need of a healing hand. That I realize that I am just not whole without the Lord. That I'm just not what I need to be. That I need God's hand. I need his understanding. I need his word to teach me wise things. I need his help. This is a sign of a true servant. You know, I think many people's troubles, and my troubles many times, is I think that I'm okay outside the Lord's help. And I would rely on my family, my station in my family, for my looks to feel good, for my job that gives me money, where I can have things to impress people. My parents are good people and I rely upon this, or in my intelligence, or I don't have much intelligence, but people are smart. Everything we want to rely on but our Creator. And I believe he wants us to be crushed and broken from self-reliance, ourselves to be reliant on him. He tells us in Revelations a few words here about people who think that they have it all, when really they ain't got nothing. Don't have anything. He says, Because thou sayest, in Revelation 3:17, I am rich, and increased with goods, and have need of nothing, and knowest not that thou art wretched, and miserable, and poor, and blind, and naked. So I think I'm rich and increased, and I don't need anything. That's the things I could see. But God said, you're wretched, miserable, poor, and blind, and naked. I counsel to thee, buy of me fire, gold tried in the fire, that thou mayest be rich, and white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed, that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear, and anoint thy eyes with eye salve, that thou mayest see. Get your eyes open, Jerry. Get your eyes open. The things that we can put in our hands, the riches that we can have, the things that we can build our trust on are just not worth it. We need the Lord. It's possible to think, look at me. And he says also in the verse previous, that you will be lukewarm. I would like to be on fire for the Lord, on fire for him, not on fire back in the tail end of things, but on fire. So for the true Christian, Self-reliance is out. We're going to get rid of that. We're not going to be self-reliant on what we can do, the money we can make, whatever we want to put our thing on this earth, that's out. And we're going to try to put on reliance on God. He says in the last part of that verse in Isaiah, and trembleth at his word, to be afraid, to be reverential, to fear, to be almost quaking when he speaks. I can almost think of them when he was talking to this prophets of old, and he would talk out of the skies and how that fruitful that must have been. And now he speaks through his word. We see things vividly that we need to put in our life or need to take out of our lives. And do we just really have the faith to think and tremble at it that we need to obey? We need to please this Creator. He speaks through his word. You know, all true preachers will try to use the words aright. They will try to teach you the things that you need to put in your life. And do you take them seriously? As they pour their heart out to you and try to help you, try to bring scriptures to you, hit you over the head with stuff that you need to put in your life or take out. If they have a verse for it, you need to take it seriously. You need to tremble at the word of God. Well, the next verse is Psalms 51 and 15 with the word contrite in it. O Lord, open thou my lips, and my mouth shall show forth thy praise. For thou desiredest not sacrifice, else would I give it. Thou delightest not in burnt offering. Listen to this. The sacrifices of God are a broken spirit, a broken and contrite heart. O God, thou wilt not despise. This is acceptable to God. I don't need your sacrifices. I don't need your stuff. But this is something that you can give me. You will give me a broken and a contrite spirit. One that wants to make atonement for wrong. One that wants to be humble before the Lord. He says, I will not despise this. Now the world might despise it. The world might call you weak. They might call you ignorant. They might tell you, be a man. Stand up for yourself. But the wise knows, the godly man knows, he knows who the battle belongs to. David, in 1 Samuel 17 and 47, all this assembly shall know that the Lord saveth not with sword and spear, for the battle is the Lord's, and he will give you into our hands. That's what he was telling him when I think he was just about to face that giant. Like the battle belongs to the Lord, and although it might look like here upon this earth, I know that I'm going to have your head. The battle is the Lord's. Thinking that we have it all in our control and no need of God, no prayer to him, and no reading of our ways, and you always have a plan that's going to work. I want to read you some verses, James 4, 5 through 7. Do you think that the Spirit saith in vain, the Spirit that dwelleth in us lusteth to envy? But he giveth more grace. Wherefore he saith, God resisteth the proud, but giveth grace unto the humble. Submit yourselves therefore to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. He resisteth the proud, and he giveth grace unto the humble. I know what I need to be. I need to be humble. I need to get humble. If I'm not humble, be more humble, if that's a word. And if I want to get far away from God, which is a scary place, I don't want to be far from God. You don't want to be far from God. Just be proud. You want to know how to get nearer to God? Let's read the next few verses that I found. Psalms 34 and 17. The righteous cry, and the Lord heareth, and delivereth them from all their troubles. The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit. Who cries and gets heard? The righteous. Who gets delivered? The righteous. The broken, the person with the contrite spirit. You know, I'm just not sure if we could tell how when the Lord gets close to us. I believe we might can. But from my experience, the more that I rely upon God, the closer I feel to him, the closer he feels to me, the closer he is involved in my life. When every decision that I make and try to make, every attitude that I try to manifest, when I try to make it pleasing unto God as best as I can, failing that we do, it seems like God is closer to me, more involved in my life, in the faith that it builds me, that he is here and paving his way for me to do right. You know, the facts of it, we're just not smart enough to know how to do ourselves. How many times do we see our kids? They're just not the children just don't have enough sense to do right for themselves. Do you want to be saved? Have a broken and a humble and contrite spirit. You know, being contrite also, as I looked up the words, and I'm not big on all the words, but you have to look them up sometimes to understand what they mean in depth. It has the idea of being broken and then search of healing and wanting to atone for wrongs done. So to be broken is, I realize that I have done wrong. I realize that I haven't relied upon you enough, and I want to do better tomorrow. And then they said that this is pleasing to the Lord. He'll draw nigh to you. And this makes sense that the broken and contrite person want to draw nigh to the Lord, because you know the proud person, they don't even know that they're far from God. The proud people are in love with their own opinion. You know, the contrite fellow, he just hopes that his opinion is in line with God's opinion. And he'd be glad to tell you that I believe this is the Lord's opinion, because he wants to please him. He knows where he gets his strength from. He gets it from the Word. He gets it from being God-like and Christ-like. He relies not to his own understanding. What's some of the things that the proud people cannot do? And I say proud people as in sometimes we're proud, sometimes you're proud, or other people that are proud. Is we cannot admit wrong. We know more than God. We know more than everybody. We know more than the congregation. We know more than our parents. Everybody. The proud cannot admit they're wrong. Proud people cannot say they're sorry. That would have to carry with it fault, saying that they are at fault. No, we can't do that. Proud people cannot see just how arrogant and ignorant they really are, or we really are. They would hear a lesson filled with scriptures that they could use in their life, and they're, meh. You know what? The preacher's not all that. He's not all that good. He's not all perfect. I don't like his attitude. I don't like the shirt he's wearing. I don't like the way he combs his hair. And you know, what's he doing up there? It's all about them. Proud people rarely confess their faults, rarely confess their sins. And if they do, it seems like they just got caught and they're trying to shut up, folks. He will revive the contrite. There will be a time when the contrite person will be made alive. And I get that from Isaiah 57 and 15. For thus saith the high and lofty one that inhabiteth eternity, whose name is holy. I dwell in the high and holy place, and with him also that is of a contrite and humble spirit, to revive the spirit of the humble, and to revive the heart of the contrite ones. In the verses before this, he just got through reprimanding the proud and for those who would not heed his word. And then he comes down and says, this is who I'm going to be with. This is who I'm going to abide with. And this is who I'm going to revive. I'm going to tear down the wicked and the proud and the boastful. And I'm going to be with those who are crushed and of contrite spirit. I'm going to make them alive. I'm going to heal them. I'm going to resurrect them. I'm going to preserve them. Oh, just makes me excited to think. Be humble now and we'll get it all paid off later. You want to add joy, peace, and a reason for being and really understand it? You get down on your knees and you submit to the Lord. You have a reason for relying. You're relying on the great God and creator of all. And he will lift you up. It says he will revive you. Let the whole world know that you are the Lord's